Hello, welcome to my garage. Today we're going to go over the basics of high stepping. A lot of it wasn't explained in the videos for our virtual folks, so I thought I'd go through and explain a little bit more of the basics and how to work your way up to what you saw in that final video. So first, the purpose of high step. High stepping is meant to get us on the field in a very unique fashion. It's what makes Cal Poly and unique in our run-on. And so this is done at a very fast tempo with everyone doing it, running down the field at really high speeds, and it's meant to be impressive. The actual technique is meant to mimic like the gallop of a horse, and so it is a very unique thing that other bands don't do. And so the basis of it starts in set in this form, and the first thing you should do is with your left foot, pop your knee up. Keep your toe on the ground and just pop your knee right up, just in a comfortable spot right here. Then from the hip, rotate your entire leg without moving any part of it, just from the hip, till your thigh is parallel with the ground. Keep that toe pointed. And so that's the motion that the step of high step actually is. And so go through that knee pop to get to that first position. Then from the hip, rotate your way up, and that's one step. So feel through that with both feet. So going pop, knee up, down, then the other foot, pop, knee up, down. Be very certain when you're here, after that pop, when you're moving this entire leg system, nothing of this angle or your toe and ankle angle doesn't move. It's only the hip rotating. So if you're in pop, rotate, back down. You can think of this angle right here being 120 degrees and keeping that toe pointed the whole time. So again, slowly, pop, up, down, switch feet, pop, up, down. A simple exercise to do is kind of a 3-count exercise where you would go 1, 2, 3, and then a switch. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so that really helps you get the feel from getting from one foot in this pop to the next foot in the pop, right? It's a transitioning of that weight. So when your left foot's up, the weight's in your right foot, and in that transition, it's now in my left foot, but trying not to bounce in that transition. So get left foot, and then transition to right foot, and then practice going up and down with both of them. That's the basics of movement that you really need to be comfortable with. It's a strange feeling and a difficult movement. It does take a lot of effort to hold that leg shape, especially when going quickly. But this is the form and the technique that really focusing on early will help you once you get to those higher speeds. So once you get that 3-count exercise comfortable, and you're comfortable with your leg height and the angle, it may help to record yourself like I'm doing now. Looking back at my videos, my technique is sometimes questionable, but get that 3-count practice down where you can go kind of starting from here, 1, 2, switch, 1, 2, switch, 1, 2, switch, 1, 2, switch. And you don't have to go much faster than that for right now. Just do it slowly. It is very tiring slowly because you really have to hold that and make sure, but that's the muscles you kind of need to be focusing on as you go faster. Once that 3-count is down and you're really comfortable with it, up the tempo just slightly. There's a kind of a limiting tempo where the transition turns from a switch to kind of a fluid motion, right? Because imagine you're up here and you're going down. There's a point where it just goes right to there, right? So instead of having a dedicated switch count, remove that switch count and try to make that a fluid motion, right? So starting from here, going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and so that switch from here to there turns into a fluid motion in between counts, and get just marking time in place with that high step slowly. This is where the most time is going to be spent kind of in practice and getting it to look right and feel right. Being in place and being slowly is an easier point than moving quickly. And so really work hard on getting that even and comfortable. Common mistakes or common downfalls, it depends person to person, but a lot of them are when you're here and going up, your thighs don't go high enough, right? So you're just around there. I sometimes put my thighs too high, and that is usually accompanied by a loss in this angle. So instead of going pop and there, where this, it goes like that. So make sure not to bring your knees up, but your like laces forward. That's a good way of thinking of it if you're having that problem. A lot of the times, toe angle starts relaxing, and so you go like that, right? So you're not like kicking and pulling up with the toe. Think of it as your laces forward, right? Because that's really the feeling you need to have going up. Common pitfalls in the switch count are commonly when you're going back down, you kind of hop from foot to foot. It's definitely not a jump until you get to really fast speeds where it inevitably becomes a jump. But focus on not bouncing in between, because that's what we're trying to prevent. It still is a marching technique, and so we're trying to keep our upper body elevated and separated through this entire thing. Another common thing is the arms tend to wander. So when you're in here and this foot goes out, a lot of people lean back or their arms fall backwards to kind of counterbalance their foot going forward or their leg going forward. They put their body backwards. So make sure in your videos your upper body is straight, and then you bring it up and your upper body doesn't need to move at all. It's sometimes helpful if you have a friend or something you can set up that you're basically kicking every time. It can be helped as like a marker, right? So if I'm here and I go up, and I go like that, and I stop, and I say, all right, hey buddy, go put a hand right there and don't move. I can then have a point that I know I need to hit every single count. So I can go, kick the thing, kick the thing, kick the thing, and that helps me make sure my technique is being consistent from step to step, so I'm hitting the same landmark every time. If you have any questions or want me to look at any videos you make, I know this is very difficult, find me on Facebook Messenger, Jay Ingram, email me, I'm a uniform manager, get in contact somehow, I'm happy to help or give any tips as needed. High stepping is our unique and difficult feature and is something that requires a lot of practice, and I imagine would be very difficult to learn virtually. So, hey, good luck out there, everyone, and have a good rest of your night. Or day? Who knows?